What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick update about the markets and NIO stock. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposits $2,000 and you're guaranteed 30. So, as far as the market is going, NIO has this gap to fill down here, and there's a chance it might see a small decline to come back down. So that 4.25 area before we see a nice bounce because of this double bottom that's been forming. So I'm not seeing anything too significant on the news. We did see some news about how NIO has been awarded for its ET5 a good rating in its winter range test for EVs. Not bad whatsoever. The mid-sized sedan, is doing a lot better. It's getting a lot of tests that are done in winter conditions, and it's doing relatively well with only a 10% deviation from the official energy consumption values. It has the lowest deviation amongst all tested vehicles, which is not bad. It got a fifth place overall, not bad, at least relative to its competitors, and it's doing a great job at performing in these different conditions. So, as time goes on, I think this is very good for them, especially as they start to expand in European countries. I can't wait to see what else the future holds. On top of this, I want to mention that today we had the FOMC minutes. The Fed was a little bit concerned about inflation and factors like this, but it wasn't really enough to get the market to dip. Despite the concerns from the Fed, the market is continuing to rally. Tomorrow we have initial jobless claims coming out alongside lots of crude data, but most of the data is quite minor, so keep that in mind. I also want to add that although we have Carvana's earnings that came out today, tomorrow we have Alibaba and Walmart, not to mention Rivian. And that's it for now. In terms of our technicals, I do anticipate a move back down to fill this gap, so it might be a small pullback on NIO before this thing tries to bounce right back up to fill this upper gap. But overall, it remains in a nice trend. It's technically on an uptrend. So look for a small move down, especially after this bearish candlestick on the daily, before it tries to bounce. On SPY, we're looking more bullish. We could continue to push up here. We might see a small pullback towards the 610s before some buyers defend and we start pushing up towards that, very close to new all-time highs. Every time we dip, we keep on making new all-time highs. There's no sign of the chart getting a big rejection yet. So notice that if you look at the trend, we broke out of this wedge here, and we're just continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. So last couple of days, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Might come down, back down to the 610s or so before it tries to bounce again, but we're slowly uptrending towards that 615 area. Unless we lose 608, we remain more bullish. On the QQQ, we had a flat day. This is looking a little bit weaker because of tech. We need to see how this responds. We're in a range between 535 and 541. If we break 541, we could continue to push up. We're actually holding up very nicely. As long as we don't lose 535, we will remain in this range and more bullish. If 535 fills us, we could turn back down, but overall, I think we're doing a good job. For the Russell 2000, we have a left shoulder headed than the right shoulder. If we manage to break past 226.5, we're looking for an attempt to break past 228, especially as we have this imbalance up here. With that being said, we'll have to see what this leads to. We'll see if we get a big bounce here, so give this some time. For ES, we are in a range right here between 61.22 and 61.68. There's a good chance we try to push even higher, so we'll see if we break resistance. Might be looking for a back test of the low 6100s before it tries to bounce, so just keep that in mind. For NQ, we're technically trading sideways right here, so if we end up losing 22,186, we could be dipping lower to the lower 22,000s before we try to bounce. Overall, I'm going to be looking for a nice move to be made. Nvidia looks a bit more bearish. This is part of why we saw NQ and the QQQ declining just a bit. We might test 136 or so before it tries to bounce. Might be a small decline, and that could cause a little bit of downside. And then Tesla is still very resilient. It's holding up very nicely. It has an inverse head and shoulders like pattern. If we could break 363 and hold above, we're going to remain more bullish. We are favoring the upwards direction now, and we'll see if that holds. Apple's consolidating. As long as you don't end up losing 241, we are favoring 248 or so as a potential target. Coinbase is bearish. We ended up losing 260. We're going to be looking to see if the support holds all the way down towards like 255 and then below. So there's a bit of a downtrend here, and we'll see if we balance. But for now, look and see what the bears end up leading to. For Amazon, we're on a bit of a downtrend here. We need to try to hold above 225. I do want to mention that there is this trend line on the daily or the 4-hour time frame acting as resistance. If we break this, we're looking for an attempt to get back above 228, and if we can't, we will continue to downtrend. So we'll see how this goes. Unfortunately, we are still remaining a little bit more on the bearish side. For Meta, we're looking to see if 700 holds. If not, it could continue to decline to about 695. We're below our 20 and 50 EMAs, which is not the best of signs. And this may be declining back down towards 695 if that fails. Still looks a bit more bearish. Microsoft is looking more bullish, trying to get back up towards 416 if that breaks. I think 420 is likely coming. And then Google is trying to rebound here. We'll have to see if we can break 188 to push to 189. So give this some time, especially as we have a double bottom. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good rest of your day. I really appreciate you guys so much for watching these videos. And I just want to say that tomorrow I might not be available. I have a funeral to be attending, so you guys might not hear from me tomorrow. If that's the case, I'm going to be completely fine. Life happens, and I will be back for sure on Friday. So with that being said, I'll see you guys on Friday. I will not be uploading a video tomorrow, most likely because of a family emergency. Until I see you guys again, I thank you for listening. So please have a good rest of your day and peace out.